Hey, good night, my people. What's up? Hope and trust that all is good. Hope you had a good and a safe day and that you're at home relaxing, having had a hard day at work or whatever. Today is what? Today is what? Monday. Monday, the 23rd day of March 2026. And the time right now is 8:03 p.m. Wow, so late to be. I didn't realize it was that late. 3 minutes after the 8 p.m. hour. And today, as you can see from my backdrop, I'm going under the theme building from the ground up. Building from the ground up. Well, I've listened to the different party supporters. I think the last time I did a recording was Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So I've had the time to listen to some different party supporters, Labour Party supporters, UPP supporters, and they would have spoken to their opinion of the St. Philip's North by-election results. Well, I've spoken to that already, and I'm not going over that again. I've said what I said. It's a matter of public record, and that is what I stand by. Some persons have sought to engage me on that. I've said to them what I've said to them, and that's that. So yes, I listened and I smiled, I smiled to myself when I heard some supporters of the UPP party try to explain what would have happened in their opinion um, in the by-election for St. Philip's North, and I just have to smile to myself. I think that some action was brought. There's a petition. I think it was brought in the name of George Wenner Jr. I'm not sure when that is going to come up, but yeah, that's a part of democracy. And we need to do a lot more of that. If we have an issue, we need to go to court to challenge it. Challenge it and let the court settle it so that it becomes settled so we know what is what going forward. So that is there. I'm not sure if that is going to be relevant because we're hearing that a snap election is going to be called. And if a snap election is called and the gentleman that is Baltimore win back again, I don't know if that first one is applicable or not. I don't know. The lawyers will tell me how that go. And just now, maybe about a half hour ago or so, I would have read a press release that was put out by the Honorable Jamal Pringle. Where did I see that? I saw that, well, the thing went out and I saw it on the Antigua Newsroom portal, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just trying to get the caption of it. Oh boy. When you want something, you can't get it. Okay, let me look at. I downloaded it. Letter from the political leader dated the March 23, 2025. It's a two-page press release. Yeah, I read that maybe about half ago. Um, Not a bad press release in my opinion. If I was supposed to have graded it, I would have given him a 95%. By the way, I heard today or yesterday, somewhere in the discussion, I heard that Jamal Pringle was a teacher. I didn't know that. I wonder which school he taught at and what class and that kind of stuff. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. Yeah, but if I was grading his press release from today, I would have given him 95%. You don't know it is. We are Earth. Nobody can get 99. Nobody can get 100% on this earth here. So I would have given him a 95%. Um, I believe for persons who are politically astute, they would see the message beyond the words, etc. Well put together in my opinion. And saying in my opinion, each of us and everyone, each of us have our own opinions. I'm not gonna tell nobody the opinion is right or wrong. I can agree or disagree with it, but each of us have our own opinion, and that is all right. And time will tell us who is right and who is wrong. And from what I'm hearing that the general elections will be called, oh, the snap general elections will be called for the last week in April. That's what I'm hearing. That is the Prime Minister's call, and you know, that's his call under the Constitution. That's his call on the Constitution. I have no problem with that. I hear people talking about we should have elections at a particular time. What exists in terms of a sitting prime minister having the right to call it when he sees fit. I've heard some discussion about that. I personally have no problem with what is in place constitutionally at the present point in time. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. In my opinion, an opposition party is supposed to be the government in waiting, and as such, they have a duty to be ready at all times, in my opinion. And if in this particular case, the prime minister sees the opposition party with its pants down and he decides to go with it, I have no problem with that. Because knowing what I know with why we are where we are, they deserve it, in my opinion. So that's just my opinion again, as I said. Persons can decide if they want to agree or not, but that is my opinion. I've had the time to analyze some of the parliamentarians on the opposition bench, right? I've had some time to analyze some of them, and in my opinion, they are no different to some of the politicians that we see on the government bench. That's what Dave is saying. I don't care who agreed or who don't agree. I have done my analysis. I have read enough. I've heard enough. I've researched enough. And I'm convinced that some of the MPs on the opposition bench is equal to or a mirror image of some of the politicians on the government bench. So that is just how it is. That's just my opinion. I personally see a bright political future for the Honorable Jamal Pringle. I really do. And I like to do these recordings, so I go on record, you know what I mean? So time will tell me if I'm right or wrong. So I like that. I like that. I see a bright political future for the Honorable Jamal Pringle. He's young. I'm told that he may be maybe 45 or something like that. I don't think he's 50 years old as yet. He would have been, or he is battle hardened. He was in there by himself. And that is good. So having youth and having that experience, in my opinion, is a good thing. So if the Almighty blesses him with good health, I suspect that he might be at the helm of the United Progressive Party for a good 10 to 15 years, at least, in my opinion. And I suspect that after the upcoming elections, he may be looking for about 7 new candidates. And to me, that's a good thing, right? So let me just say that again so that the record is clear what I'm saying. After the upcoming general elections that I'm told will be called for the last week in April, the Honorable Jamal Pringle will be looking for about 7 new candidates. And to me, that is a good thing. He will have the opportunity to develop his party in the way he sees fit. Hopefully, these candidates will be young, I should say, young, mature individuals, not just young for young's sake, young and mature, knowing what they're about, etc., etc. And as I said, he will have the opportunity to develop the party in the way how he sees fit with his supporting cast. And for who I know to be, or those persons I know to be supporting cast, I think that they offer good support, in my opinion. So I will continue to listen. And with the grace of the Almighty God, I will see how many, or I will see how the upcoming general election will go. And I will see how close I would have come, or how far and off my analysis would have been. So I will continue to listen to the discussions. Today the 23rd, so I know things will be ramping up. I see there's a focus on persons or encouraging persons to go and collect their registration cards. I too would encourage persons to do that. For those persons, well, it could be a national ID, it could be like an ID. And for those persons who might want to make sure that they have the opportunity to participate in the upcoming general elections, Um, some persons will not be participating. Some persons will just be watching out or waiting out this one and see how it turns out. But time will tell us how it turns out. And we're already at the end of March. So, I mean, in no time, boom, we're going to be coming around to this time, this projected time that we are told, or some of us are told, that the elections will be called. And we will see what happens from there. So, again, as I said, by the grace of God, I hope the Lord grant me life that I will be in a position to see how accurate my analysis was or how far off my analysis was, and we'll go from there. Enjoy yourself, people. Remember to keep as safe as you can. For the ladies who live alone, turn on your outside lights, burn the little extra electricity, because as I say all the time, your safety is priority. You might pay a little bit more for the electricity, yes, but your safety is priority. And thief no love two things. They no love light and they no love noise. So look at your premises, see where is an area that you believe if somebody is coming onto your property without use, and try your best to light up that area to deny them that opportunity if they're looking for that. Take care, my people, and we will chat again in the future, God's willing. Bless up.